were just the oven," my mother said. "The baby isn't yours. It never was." I was still bleeding when she said it. No one offered me ice chips. No one held my hand. No one even looked me in the face when they took him away. I had just become a mother, and I'd never felt more disposable. Please like this video, subscribe, and hit the bell. Tell me in the comments, have you ever been used by your own family? You're watching True Family Revenge. Let me take you back, because betrayal like this doesn't start in a hospital room. It starts years earlier, with little cuts you don't even notice until you're bleeding out. I wasn't the golden child. That was Diego, my older brother. He got A's, I got why not A's. He got private soccer coaching. I got told to lose weight if I wanted to keep dancing. But I loved him. I mean, really loved him. When he broke his arm in middle school, I was the one who slept on the hospital floor with him, not our parents.
When he had his first heartbreak, I stayed up till 3 a.m. He cried into my hoodie, but somewhere along the way, he stopped looking at me like a sister and started treating me like his plan B. I was 24, unemployed as their COVID cutbacks, fresh out of a breakup that left me with debt and no apartment, living in my childhood bedroom with pink curtains and a broken fan. That's when my parents sat me down. Diego and Camila were already there. "We have an idea," my mother said, smiling like she was offering me cake, something that could benefit everyone. They started slow. Camila couldn't get pregnant. They had tried IVF twice. It failed. Insurance wouldn't cover another round. My mom placed her hand over mine. "You've always loved babies," she said. "This could be your way to give life." Literally. My dad added the pressure. "You're not doing much right now anyway. Maybe this is your chance to finally contribute." Camila, she just sat there perfectly still, watching me like I was a specimen. Not once did she say thank you. Then came the bait. "Do this for your brother," said my mom, "and we'll finally respect you. We'll even help you go back to school. Nursing, right? You always wanted to be a pediatric nurse."
My throat went tight. That had been my dream for years. But I dropped out after Mom refused to co-sign my loans. They dangled that dream like a prize, as if this pregnancy was the only way to earn my family's love. And like a fool, I said yes. "You'll be the aunt, not the mom." The first month of pregnancy, they pretended I was part of the family. My mom brought me soup, only once, but still. My dad drove me to my first ultrasound. Camila even handed me a little pink candle and said, "For the baby's energy." She smiled, but it never reached her eyes. They acted like this was a gift exchange, not a human life. Second month in, it all shifted. I told Camila I was craving mango. She rolled her eyes. "Hope that's not your hormones talking. I read that stress in the mother can damage the baby's brain." The baby's brain. Not our baby. Not my baby. When I asked if I could help decorate the nursery, she laughed. "Oh, I think we've got it covered." The nursery wasn't even in her house. It was in my parents' house. I wasn't invited to my own pregnancy. By 5 months, my name was erased. No baby shower. No bump pics. No mama-to-be sash. But Camila? She had an entire Pinterest board of her motherhood journey. She started calling herself Mama on Instagram, captioning selfies with hashtags like "our miracle" and "finally blessed." I asked her, gently, if I could be included in some way. She looked up from her phone. "You'll be the aunt, not the mom, and we'd like to keep things clean." Clean. As if I were dirt under the rug, as if I hadn't been throwing up for months, my gums bleeding, my hips slucking up. I was gaining weight in places I didn't know could expand. I couldn't sleep on my back without feeling like I'd suffocate. But sure, keep it clean. Then came the contract. Camila printed it on thick cream paper, tucked neatly in a pink folder with gold letters. Private custody agreement. She slid it across the table during dinner. Just something to make it official. It was 5 pages, all legalese in small print, but one sentence jumped out at me. Donor has no legal claim to the child before or after delivery. I nearly dropped my fork. "Donor?" I asked. "That's what I am?" Camila didn't flinch. "It's standard language. It's just to avoid confusion later." Later. Like when I wanted to see the child I carried. I showed the paper to my mom. She didn't even read it. "You said you were doing this out of love," she said. "Don't ruin it by getting possessive now." My dad? He just folded his arms and said, "You'll still get help with school. Don't overcomplicate things." Overcomplicate? I was suffocating in someone else's miracle, turning invisible in my own body. But it got worse. At my 28-week checkup, the doctor said the baby's heart rate dipped. She told me to rest, no stress, minimal physical activity. I called Camila to let her know. Her response? "So you're saying I should start looking for a backup? Because that's not the deal we made." That night, I felt the first real kick. And I cried. Not from pain, but from the terrifying truth. I might be the only person in this child's life who actually cares if he lives or dies. I didn't steal him. I saved him. Labor started at 2 a.m. I was alone when the contractions hit. My mom had an early meeting, and Camila didn't answer her phone. I took an Uber to the hospital. The driver didn't say a word when I doubled over in the back seat, biting into my own jacket sleeve. The nurses asked if anyone would be joining me. I gave them a fake name, said I was a single mother. Technically, that was true. 42 hours. No epidural. Camila wanted it all natural. She had read it was better for bonding. Bonding for her, not for me. I tore badly, passed out twice, vomited on myself. The nurse wiped my face and whispered, "You're doing amazing, sweetheart." She was the only one who said anything kind to me that day. When the baby finally came out, I waited for the rush of joy people talk about. Instead, I got silence. I asked to hold him, but they told me, "Just a moment." But the moment never came. Camila walked in 10 minutes later, hair perfect, lipstick fresh. She was holding him like a trophy. "He's beautiful," she said. "He looks like Diego." I tried to sit up. My arms shook. Just for a second, can I hold him?" She stared at me, then smiled like a teacher correcting a child. "You've done your part. Let's not make this harder than it has to be." Then my mother came in. She didn't bring flowers or food or even a glance of concern. She walked over, kissed my forehead, and whispered, "You were just the oven. The baby isn't yours." And then she left. That night, I lay in a hospital bed soaked in blood. My abdomen screamed. My arms ached from emptiness. No visitors, no calls, no baby bracelet on my wrist. I stared at the ceiling for hours until I felt nothing. Not grief, not rage, just cold clarity. At 3:06 a.m., I got up. I walked barefoot to the nursery, body trembling with every step. No one stopped me. No alarms, no second looks. The nurses didn't expect me to take anything because they thought I had nothing left. He was there, wrapped in blue, eyes closed, breathing softly. When I picked him up, his fingers curled around mine like he already knew me. I held him close. His skin was warm. His heartbeat was real. And suddenly, I could breathe again. I whispered, "You're not theirs. You never were." We walked out together, into the night. No bag, no phone, no idea what came next. But for the first time, I didn't feel alone. We stayed in a shelter that night. I used a hoodie to swaddle him tighter. A woman with a crooked smile handed me a bottle without asking questions. Another one gave me her last diaper. They didn't want ownership, they just wanted to help. And in that moment, I felt more love from strangers than I had from my own family in 24 years. I didn't steal him, I saved him. The heir you abandoned is gone. 5 years passed. I got a new name, new hair, new job, in a city where no one asked why I avoided family holidays. I worked nights cleaning motel rooms, saved every penny, rented a tiny studio with peeling paint and a leaky faucet. But it was mine. No one called me a burden there. I didn't raise him, After 3 months, I gave him to Paula and Louis, a couple in their 40s with kind hands and tired eyes. They had been rejected by the system too many times. Not wealthy, not flashy, but safe, warm. They cried when I signed the custody letter, not because they won, but because they knew what it cost me. I stayed in town for a while, watched from a distance. Once I saw Louis hold him on his shoulders at a street fair. He pointed at a balloon and giggled. I walked away before he could see me. I wrote him letters, one for every birthday, sealed, stamped, never sent. The last one said, I gave you away not because I didn't love you, but because I did, more than anyone else ever could. Then came the magazine. I was walking home from work, past a grocery store, when I saw it. A bright parenting cover. Big, bold letters. Adoption that healed us. How one miracle baby changed everything. And there he was, smiling, gap-toothed, wearing a superhero cape. Between Paula and Luis, his parents, my knees buckled, not from regret, but from relief. He was okay. He was loved. I bought 5 copies. One I kept, one I mailed to Diego, one to my parents. No return address, just a yellow sticky note. The heir you abandoned is gone. A cousin texted me 2 days later. Apparently, my dad lost it, yelled about betrayal, said he'd sue for kidnapping. 5 years too late. My mother cried on Facebook, called me ungrateful, said she'd been robbed of her grandchild. Not once did anyone ask if I was alive. As for Diego, Camila left him, said he failed to deliver. He's 38 now, single, miserable, and still blaming everyone but himself. He posted a rant once. Some people don't deserve children. They just ruin everything. Someone tagged me. I didn't reply. But I stared at the screen for a long time and whispered to myself, exactly. Now I live quietly. No fame, no followers, just freedom. Sometimes I still see mothers with sons and wonder. I wonder if he'll ever come looking. And if he does, he'll find a woman who chose him once, before he could speak, before he could choose her back. A woman who walked away from pain so he could walk toward love. Thank you for watching. Please like, subscribe, and hit the bell. You're watching True Family Revenge. And tell me in the comments, what would you have done?